Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the SPC Tutorials. As you all know, my name is Tutor Joseph. Please, as you are watching this video, endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. In today's video, we'll be discussing a B111 class Monogenea, okay? Now, it's going to be class Monogenea and class Trematoda. Now, I'm going to start by giving us the similarities between the class Monogenea and the class Trematoda. What do they have in common? One, they do not have rhabdites. Now, in our initial class, I told us that rhabdites are rod-like structures that bring about protection by forming a mucous sheath around the body of the organism. It's meant for what? Protection. That is for that. They do not possess it. Then two, they are leaf-like. They are leaf-like in shape. And three, they are cylindrical. They are what? Cylindrical, okay? And their body is not, they are not ciliated. Right? Their body does not have what? Cilia. That is, they are not what? Ciliated. Alright? They are not ciliated. Unlike the class Turbellaria. The Turbellarians, their epidermis is what? Ciliated. Now, number 5, their epidermis, so these are the similarities. So their epidermis is made up of what? Syncytial tegument. Alright? Syncytial what? Tegument. And it is under this syncytial tegument that you have 3 muscles arranged as outer circular. They'll ask you, how is the muscular layer of Monogenea arranged? Outer circular, you have oblique, you can say middle oblique, and inner longitudinal, okay? That is how it is arranged, though. Longitudinal. Alright, you say their muscle layer, which is just found beneath this syncytial tegument, is arranged as outer circular, middle oblique, and inner longitudinal. It is very, very important, okay? Then, please, this one is not a similarity between the both of them. I just brought it out. It's just is possessed by the Monogeneas. Okay, number 5. What is the next? Number 5. They are parasitic. Unlike the Turbellarians, they are what? Free living, because they do not have larval stage. They are carnivores. They only feed on insect larvae, crustacean, and small animals, whether dead or alive. So these are the similarities between the Monogeneans and the Trematodes, or the digenetic fluke. All right, these are the similarities. Is that clear? Yes, I believe it is clear. Now, so I think I'll rub off the similarities now. Let us now discuss each class properly. Now, what are other features of class Monogenea? The Monogeneans, okay, they have an attachment organ, or organ for attachment, called opistaphore. Now, I told us that the opistaphore is made up of what? 6 suckers and 2 hooks. Alright, it's made up of what? 6 suckers and 2 hooks. And this opistaphore is just found at the ventral region, not dorsal region. I told us that the platyhelminthes, they are dorsoventrally flattened, okay? and that is why they are called what? Flatworms, because they are flattened that is dorsal and what? Ventrally, or dorsally and ventrally rather. Okay, is there another one? Yes, Opistaphyr at the ventral region, 6 suckers and 2 hooks. Now at the anterior region you have 2 marginal opening. At the anterior region you have 2 marginal opening, and this marginal opening, please indicate what is called vaginal opening. All right, and these 2 marginal opening are actually swellings. All right, there are 2 marginal swellings at the anterior region of the monogenea. You have it to be what? A marginal what? Opening. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, the pharynx of the monogeneans bifurcates. It divides into 2. That is, the intestine is bifurcated, all right, into 2 cecum. You have a cecum, all right. It is bifurcated into 2 cecum, and these bifurcated structures, they are now united at the posterior region of the monogenea. Opistaphyr is meant for attachments. Then I said at the anterior region you have 2 marginal swellings. What does it connote? It indicates vaginal what? Opening. And I said the pharynx of these guys bifurcates the intestine into what? 2 units of cecum. And these 2 units are united. They are united in the ventral region of the organism. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, the monogeneans, all right, the monogeneans, they are actually found in the skin or gill of fishes and amphibians. They are found in the gill or skin of or what? Fishes. In the amphibians, they are found in the urinary bladder. In the urinary what? Bladder. Take note of that. Nutrition. How do they feed? They feed on blood, all right? And this blood that they feed on is digested by what is called intraluminal and intracellular processes. Oh, good. Take note of this. The blood sucked by monogeneans is digested through what means intraluminal and intracellular what? Processes. All right, take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, there are different species of the monogeneans. We have different species of the monogeneans. We have polystoma. Then we have different species of polystoma. We have P galamensis. We have galamensis, and you have P prud. Oi, Jesus, this name is somehow just is Pruudhoi. Pronounce it yourself. Then you have P mangenoti. All right, you now have P intergerimum. So these are different species, or these are the different species of polystoma. That is 4 species. All of these 4 species, polystoma intergerimum is what? The representative member of this organism. It is what? The representative member of this organism. In other words, it is the most conspicuous member of this what? Organism, polystoma. Then you have number 2. You have number 2, Dactytogyros. Dactytogyros, okay. And number 3, you have Gyrodactylus. Gyrodactylus. Alright, so these are the three species found, or these three species are what? Monogeneans, okay? And I said that we have polystoma and you have different species of what? Polystoma. And the representative member of these different species of polystomans is what? Polystoma integerrimum. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, having given us the species of the class Monogenea, I would also like to give us the reproductive mode or mode of these guys. Of course, they are what? Hermaphrodites, or they are hermaphroditic, or what? They are monoecious, in the sense that they have both the male and female sex organ inside of them, okay? And before I go into their mode of reproduction, I would love us to know their nervous system. Right, their nervous system comprises, all right, nerves surrounding the pharynx. So these nerves are found surrounding what? The pharynx. And these nerves are found surrounding the pharynx, and they emanate from the anterior and posterior end. All right, they emanate from the anterior and posterior end. I told that the opistaphore, which is used for attachment, is found at the ventral region of the organism, and this opistaphore is supplied with fibers from the ventral nerves. So which means that the nerves that provide fibers to the opistaphore are from the ventral region. They are ventral nerves, not dorsal nerves. Please take note of that. They are ventral what? Nerves. It is very, very important. Okay, now mode of reproduction, and of course excretion is, the excretory organ is what? The protonephridia. The excretory organ is what? The protonephridia. And I told that the protonephridia is made up of cluster of cells called what? Flame cells, with which they excrete metabolic waste from their body. Take note of that. Now, reproduction. Good. The monogeneans, they exhibit a striking feature called synchronization. Synchronization. All right. The monogeneans, they exhibit a process called what? Synchronization, which is a phenomenon characterized by the growth of the parasite and host at the same time. The host and parasite, they grow at the same time. That is, they grow simultaneously, and it is meant for what? Adaptation. How does it occur? How does it adapt to its what? Environment? This is how it does it. Now, I told you that these monogeneans are found in frogs. Now, when frogs are getting prepared to enter into the water, their genital organs ripen. As soon as the frog enter into the water, they produce what? Egg. They produce what? Egg. This egg, upon laid into the water, will now develop into Oncomyracidium larva. Oncomyracidium what? Larva. By the swimming action of this larva, all right, it attaches itself to the gill of what? The tadpole. It attaches itself to the gill of tadpole. You know that tadpole is the young stage of frogs. Okay. Now, once it's there, it feeds on mucus and detritus. Mucus and what? Detritus, and also from fishes. Okay. Now, at that young stage, tadpole has gill for respiration and is found at the tail region. At this point, the Oncomyracidium larvae is comfortable feeding on the gill of the tadpole. Now, the tadpole upon metamorphosing, it develops into frog, or upon metamorphosis, it develops or grows into frog. But before it grows into frog, what happens? The Onchomiracidium leaves the gill and migrates to the what? The urinary bladder. In the urinary bladder, it develops into an adult species. All right. So which means that before the tadpole metamorphosis into the adult stage, which is frog, what happens? The Onchomiracidium leaves the gill and migrates into urinary bladder of what? The organism. Please take note. However, if the Onchomiracidium larva is found externally, is found on the external gill, it attains what is called what? Sexual maturity. Sexual maturity through a type of development called what? Neotonic development. Through a special type of development called what? Neotonic development. Oh, it's recording. Called neotonic development. Now, this neotonic development produces what is called what? Neotonic larva. This neotonic larva has the ability to produce what? Fertilized cell. That is fertilized eggs. Now, as soon as these fertilized eggs are produced, they develop again into Onchomiracidium larva, and the cycle continues again. So please, that is all for the class Monogenea. Now let's now jump into the class Trematoda, or class Digenea. Subclass is a subclass actually. You say subclass Digenea, you say class Trematoda. You can now know the difference. Digenea is a subclass under class Trematoda. Now, I've given the features, their body, or their epidermis. The body of the epidermis of the trematodes is surrounded by a sessile type of cells called what? Tegument. Okay, and they are leaf-like, they are cylindrical in shape, they are parasitic, and they are monoecious. All right, they are monoecious, or they are hermaphroditic. They are hermaphrodites. Now, since we have established that fact already, please, the mode of reproduction I just illustrated is peculiar to most of the members, but I said that the polystoma intergerrimum is the representative member of all the species of what? Polystoma. Take note of that. Then the Monogenea. What do we know? Sorry, Trematoda. What do we know about the trematodes? These guys, they are digenetic flukes. They are flukes, all right? Please, the Monogenea, they have direct life cycle. Therefore, you say they are monogenous, or they have primary host or definitive host. But the trematodes, they are heterogenous because they have secondary host and what? Primary host. The primary host is actually a mollusk, which is what? An invertebrate. But the secondary host is what? A vertebrate, which are goats, sheep, cattle, and giant ruminants of Africa and what? Asia. Now, let's look at the features of these guys. Now, nutrition, okay, sure. They feed on blood and tissues of their hosts. They feed on blood and tissues of their host. Some are found in the liver, and you call these guys liver fluke. Liver what? Flukes. And liver flukes are called what? We have fasciola gigantica, and you have fasciola hepatica. Now, all of this organism causes a disease called what? Fasciolasis. Fasciolasis, and it causes what? Liver rot. Fasciolasis means what? Liver rods, liver rods. So you have the fasciolar what? Hepatica. You now also have some of these organisms, they are found in the bile duct. Alright, they are found in the bile duct or what? Urinary what? Bladder. You have them to be okay, blood. Let me say blood fluke. They are found in the blood, and at the same time, they're also found in the bile duct. Okay, blood fluke. We call these guys schistosoma, schistosoma, schistosoma hematobium, hematobium. Right, this one is actually called blood fluke because schistosoma japonicum is found in bile duct or urinary what? Bladder. Now it causes a disease called what? Schistosomiasis or bilharziasis. It causes schistosomiasis or what? Bilharziasis. Take note of that. It is very important. And I said these organisms are found in goats. That is primary host. Okay, primary host is what? Snail. Then secondary host, you have goats, you have cattle, you have sheep, and you have giant sheep. I say sheep. You have giant what? Ruminants. All of these are secondary hosts, but primary host, you have it with what? Snail. Now, some of these organisms are also found in the lungs. In the lungs, all right. Therefore, you call them lung flukes. Now, lung flukes are called Paragonimus westermanni. So, which means that liver fluke or is fasciola gigantica and is found in the liver mostly, and blood fluke, you have it to be what? Schistosoma hematobium. Disease called schistosomiasis or bilharziasis is caused by schistosoma species. You now have some found in the lungs, all right? You call them Paragonimus westermanni, and the disease they cause is called paragonimiasis. So SIS is what? A disease. Take note of that. So these are different species of these are digenetic flukes. You can also call them trematodes. I believe it is clear enough. Okay. Now, the most conspicuous member, or the in the case of fasciola gigantica, right, its reproductive mode, that is the species, the conspicuous or the most conspicuous member of the liver fluke is what? Fasciola gigantica. While that of schistosoma is what? Schistosoma hematobium. You also have schistosoma masoni and schistosoma japonicum. But the most conspicuous member or representative member is what? Schistosoma hematobium. Now, in the case of fasciola gigantica, egg is released into the water. Egg or eggs, let me add s, eggs are released into the water. Now the eggs undergo embryonisation. Now, upon this process, it develops into a ciliated type of larva called what? Miracidium larva. Alright, the eggs undergoes embryonation. Now the embryonation processes triggers it to develop into the Miracidium larva. This Miracidium larva is what? Ciliated. It's ciliated. Now, this Miracidium larva, what happens? It locates the hosts. It looks for the host. And the host, the primary host in this case is what? Limnia natalensis. Please take notes. A type of snail. The primary host of Fasciola gigantica is a type of host called Limnia natalensis. Take note of that. As soon as the Miracidium larva locates the host, all right, it develops into what is called the sporocyte or sporocyte. Sporocyte. Now the sporocyte contains germ cells, Now these germ cells it contains will develop into what is called the radia. We develop into the mother radia and the daughter radia, all collectively called what? Radia. Now the daughter radia formed develops into what is called Cercaria larva. Cercaria. Please, the infective stage of the trematodes is what? Cercaria. It is what? Cercaria. Now this Cercaria insists on vegetables. Is also in the soil, and it also gets in contact with what? Contaminated water. As soon as the secondary host, once this Cercaria attach themselves to vegetables and they are fed on by grazers. I told us they are what? Goats, cattle, sheep, and what? Giant ruminant. Once these organisms feed on vegetables that has been encysted by the Cercaria, there is encysted type of Cercaria is called what? Metacercaria. You see, so this is the life cycle of these organisms. Now, the Metacercaria definitely grows into what? Adults. Now, the life cycle what? Continues. You see, so the primary host is snail called Limnia natalensis. All right. The secondary hosts are vertebrates. All right. They are vertebrates, and the effective stage is what? Cercaria. The effective stage is Cercaria. Please, the Platyhelminthes says they are a coelomate. They are what? A coelomate. Oh God. They are a coelomate. That is, they don't have what? Body space. You know, they are triploblastic. They have ectoderms, mesoderm, and what? Endoderms. Okay. Now, within their body is a space. Now, this space is filled with a fluid, a type of connective tissue. All right, called what? Parenchyma. Now, this parenchyma, all right, is made up of what? Connective tissues called what? Mesenchyma. Alright, if I don't call it mesenchyma, I can call it what? Mesenchymatous cells. Okay, so please, at this point, we call it at the larval stage of these organisms. We have the first one, the Miracidium, the sporocyst, radia, Cercaria, and Metacercaria. They may ask which of the following best expresses the life cycle of a digenetic fluke or of a trematode. It is left for you to do it like this. X Miracidium. Which of them is ciliated? Which of them has cilia? Miracidium. Which of them locates the host? Miracidium, because it swims by the lashing movement of the cilia. It attaches itself, it locates the host and attaches itself and develops into the sporocyst. Sporocyst has germ cells which develop into what? Radia. Mother radia and what? Daughter radia. The daughter radia develops into what? Cercaria. This Cercaria insists on vegetable soil and what? Contaminated. Okay, it contaminates water. Water. Now, once these grazers feed on these vegetables, the Cercaria enters into their bile duct or what? Urinary bladder, pierces their intestinal what? Tract, and you now have what? The Metacercaria after that develops into the adult stage. So the adult stage, it continues again. All right, the cycle continues again. Please, the phylum, that is Platyhelminthes are a coelomate. That is because they do not have what? Body cavity. The space in them is filled up. It's filled up with a fluid called what? Mesenchymatous what type of connective tissue. And please, the nervous system. Okay, excretion uh, by these trematodes, they excrete using the longitudinal trunk. Longitudinal trunk. Now this trunk, or I can call it tubule. Now this trunk is made up of numerous flame cells. It's made up of what? Numerous flame cells. And please, that reminds me, the Monogenea, there is a Digenea, or the Trematode, they have branched testes, ovary, and cecum. What did I say? They have branched testes, ovary, and what? Cecum. Now, this flame cell is made up of what? Cilia. Wastes are excreted. The branched end of this tubule or trunk, you have lot of flame cells there. These flame cells collect waste products and send it back to this longitudinal trunk. Now this longitudinal tubule opens exteriorly, and the waste product is what? Excreted. And I told you that they have incomplete digestive system, so the waste product